Everyone talks about seeing ghosts in the forest. It's a classic horror story trope. But what no one ever tells you is the absolute worst time to meet one is when you are completely and utterly vulnerable. I went into the woods that night to use the bathroom. I did not go in there to be traumatized for the rest of my life. So picture this. I was camping with a few friends deep in some remote national forest. It was one of those trips where late-night snacks and bad decisions are the main event. Around 2:11 a.m., my stomach decided to betray me in the worst way possible. Out there are no bathrooms, no potties, just miles and miles of trees. So I grabbed my trusty flashlight and walked a little ways away from the campsite. Far enough for some privacy, but close enough that I could still see the faint glow of our campfire. I remember telling myself, it's just for 5 minutes. Nothing is going to happen. And that, my friends, was my second very bad decision of the night. I found what I thought was a perfect spot, a quiet little clearing between two large oak trees. It was total darkness, except for the narrow beam of my flashlight pointing at the ground. I got into position, squatted down, and that's when I heard it. Footsteps. They were slow, heavy, and crunching on the leaves right behind me. I froze instantly. My first thought was that my friends were trying to prank me. So I whispered, "Guys, this is not funny." But there was no answer. The footsteps stopped. A dead silence hung in the air for a moment, and then I heard breathing. And it wasn't animal breathing, it was human breathing. Way too close for comfort. I was stuck. I couldn't move. I literally could not run. I was committed to my situation. My flashlight was shaking in my hand, making the shadows dance like crazy. With every ounce of courage I had, I slowly turned my head. And that's when I saw it, a pale figure standing between the trees. It was tall, unnaturally still, and it was just watching me. I wanted to scream, I really did. But my body, in its infinite wisdom, chose survival over dignity. And then the figure did something that made it even weirder. It tilted its head, almost like it was confused. Or worse, like it was judging my form. That's when it took one step forward, and then another. The twigs snapped under its feet. I finally found my voice and yelled out the only thing I could think of. "Please, I'll be done in a second." The figure stopped. A chilling silence fell over the woods again, and then it did something so much worse than just staring. It smiled a wide, unnatural grin, and it whispered in a voice that felt like dry leaves scraping together, "Take your time." My soul immediately left my body. I think I blacked out for a second from pure terror. I didn't need a second invitation. I jumped up, fumbled to pull myself together, and just ran. I sprinted like my life depended on it, which, let's be honest, it probably did. I didn't look back. I didn't care about dignity or leaves or anything else. All I heard behind me was laughter. It was this soft, dry, completely unnatural sound that followed me all the way back to the fire. When I burst back into the campsite, gasping for air, my friends just looked at me and asked, "Dude, why are you crying?" I tried to explain everything that happened. They all started laughing, thinking it was the best joke ever. They laughed until one of them picked up my flashlight, which I had dropped in my panic. They looked at it, and their smiles vanished. Engraved into the side with what looked like muddy fingers were the words, "Nice meeting you." We packed up and left that forest the second the sun came up. We never went back. But here's the thing. Sometimes, even now, when I have to get up to use the bathroom late at night, I'll hear a faint whisper from right behind me. "Relax, I've seen worse."